Hello and welcome to another video with Coastive Learning. Now today we'll be looking at number partitioning. Now normally this is a skill that is taught in lower classes, probably from grade 2 all the way to probably grade 5, but it's a skill that is useful even in secondary school. So we'll be looking at number partitioning. Of course, we'll be assuming that you've had the experience of being taught number partitioning in lower grade, but chances are remembering may be a problem, but it's okay. That's why we're having this video to help you recall. So what is number partitioning? Now basically it's breaking down numbers with their place value. So for example, if we have the number 17, now if I ask you partition the number 17, how will you partition? Now normally I'll expect somebody to tell me 1 and 7. What numbers are in number 17? 1 and 7. Okay. But then if we take 1 and 7, 1 plus 7 is equals to 8. 8 is not 17. So the partitioning 17 cannot be 1 and 7. So how else can we do it? Then if we go further, we can realize that partitioning becomes 10 and 7. Now when you do 10 plus 7, we get 17. Now this is what we mean. Partitioning place value, partitioning the numbers with a place value. So 1 is in the place value of tens, so it became a 10. 7 is in the place value of ones or units, so it just maintained its units, 7. And so therefore this is the correct way of partitioning the number and not like this. Okay, make note of this. Now let's look at another number. So now when dealing with bigger numbers, let's say we have 364. If we partition, it becomes 300 because 3 is in the hundreds, 60 because 6 is in the 60s, is in the tens, so the value of 6 is 60, and 4 because it's in the place value for units. Okay, and then lastly, for a last example, you have 1842. Again, 1 is in the thousands, so it's 1000. 8 is in the hundred, so 800. 4 is in the tens, so 40, and 2 is in the units, so 2. And this is how we get to partition numbers. That's simple, right? Now, how do we get to apply this method in secondary school? Now, one of the skills about partitioning numbers is to help you do mental calculations. So it's important to understand that the skills we are doing, we'll be doing them to enhance your mental calculation abilities. So now, let's start. So for the first part, we're going to start with addition. So we have a number here, addition of 87 plus 34. Now 87 plus 34, if we partition it, we can see there is an 80 and a 30. So we have 80 plus 30. Then we have a 7 plus 4. Because 7 and 4, again partitioning based on the tens and then the units. So if we add 80 and 30, we get 110. When we add 7 and 4, we get 11. Then we can add these two answers to get 121. So the answer of 87 plus 34 is equals to 121. Okay, let's look at another example. So we have 242 plus 69. Again, we partition 240 plus 60 to get 300, and 202 plus 9 to get 11, and for our final answer becomes 311. Now, make note that in this particular question, I did not partition these in the 200s. Rather, I looked it at 24. I partitioned 240 altogether. Reason being, this is a number with the hundreds and this is a number with tens. So when I'm adding 110s, like there is no need of saying 200 plus 0, so that would not really make sense. So to make my work easier, I just round from the tens, and these become 240. Just a side note, do not say, oh teacher, you did not partition the 200. But so, and here we can very easily see that 24 plus 6 is 30. So 240 plus 60 is 300. Okay, partitioning skills. Then now, in addition to subtraction, what do we have? 98 plus minus 59, sorry. 98 minus 59. So what do we do? Now, again here, I will partition it and say 80 minus 50 is equals to 30. Then 18 minus 9 is equals to 9. I add them together to get my answer as 39. Now, again, I know some people will want to wonder, oh, it's 90, not 80. So why do you think I did that? Now, for your hint, hope you guessed correctly, the answer would have been 8 is smaller than 9. Okay, so I have already borrowed 1 from the 9 so that it's left 8. And the 80 that is left, that's what is here. And if I borrow 1 from 9 to 8, it gives me 18. Okay, so 18 minus 9 is 9. And the answer becomes 39. Now, for the last part, let's look at how do we use the partitioning skill when doing multiplication and division. Okay, so let's start with the multiplication. 67 times 8. Now again, I'll partition these numbers. However, I will make sure that they are in the separate place value. So 60 times 8. Now remember, I will not say 6 times 8 because as we've seen, it's not 6, it's 60. So 60 times 8, we get 480. Simply because 6 times 8 is 48. So 60 times 8 becomes 480. Then 7 times 6, 56. We add all of them together to get 536. And so the answer here becomes 536. Yes, the answer here was 39. The answer here was 311. Okay. Then, lastly, we have a division question here, whereby we have 348 divided by 12. Okay. So I look at this number and I want to extract numbers that are possibly divisible by 12. Now, if I look at this, I can decide to partition it like this, so that I have this and this, or partition it like this, so that I have 34 and 8. But the first one is more likely to partition. So let's see how I have partitioned it. I've partitioned it so that I have 300 divided by 12, which gives me 25, and 48, because 48 is a multiple of 12. 48 divided by 12, which will give me 4. Then when I add 25 and 4, I get 29. And so 348 divided by 12 is equals to 29. Now take note, this skill is for you to use and practice often. Okay? By practicing this skill, it will help you improve your mathematical skills as you continue with your Key Stage 3 learning. Thank you.